Thank you everybody for being here tonight. We will call the meeting to order and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Can I get something? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on the agenda is the approval of the regular session minutes from June 26, 2018. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes?
We do. I did have an edit on items 9 and 11. It referred to the fact that I voted and I was a couple thousand miles away at that time. So.
Yes, you were. Okay. So we'll amend the minutes to reflect that you weren't included in those votes. Any other amendments to the minutes? All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes with those amendments.
Motion to approve the June 26th regular meeting minutes with the proposed modifications.
Do you have a second? Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The minutes are approved. Next is the executive session meeting from June 26, 2018. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those minutes? Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the June 26th executive session meeting minutes.
Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those meeting minutes are approved. Thank you. Next is the chairman's report. Let's see. We're going to have, I think, Andrew report to us on next steps for the town center. We're going to talk about the parking survey. We're going to talk about the next few steps the CDDA will take, and we're going to talk a little bit about where we're going to direct inquiries on property acquisitions and basic information about the town center project. So I'm going to defer that to the town center presentation at item 5. Other than that, I know that Mr. Lozer has confirmed that our email addresses for Shannon DBA are now working. So I'm going to have him send out an email to everybody so that we can start using this email address instead of our private emails. We got a little sloppy about that when it didn't work years ago, and we need to kind of get back on track with that. That's all I have for the chairman's report right now. Next, the financial report.
All right. If you look to the back of your packet for the updated information on the financials, the first page, the overall balance sheet, you can see a picture of really where we're at. Probably the important, the most relevant one is the operating expense, or the operating account, which has $245,000 in change in it. Then also, the other probably most interesting, if you look 2 pages back to the 3rd page, the accrual basis for the last 6 months gives you an overall picture of where we're at. Again, one of the big items there that I would draw your attention to is the professional services, planning services. Most of that is related to the $300,000 contract with 7 Oaks for the master planning services. So there will be, I think they in fact have submitted another invoice, or if not, we will see one soon for the completion of that master plan. So that's really a picture of where we're at. Are there any questions?
Can you get the CPA when they do the income statement to put the budget alongside it? So
we were just having a conversation about that. That it would allow us to get a little bit more meaning about where we're at. Yes. We'll definitely pursue that.
Fantastic. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the town center. Andrew, do you want to give us a brief presentation on sort of where we're going, what we need to be aiming at next?
Sure, thank you guys. Andrew Roberts from 7 Oaks Company. Don't have any guidance for you guys today or board, but just as an update, as a lot of you all know, we outlined sort of next steps in our presentation of the master plan that was adopted by the city council formally last Tuesday. So thank you all for your endorsement of that. I guess there's really two items that we wanted to go ahead and get the ground running on, and one of them was to look at a new zoning sub-district within the village commercial district, which is the larger downtown piece, and really focus on this 1,500-foot radius thereabouts to comply with a lot of the theming and design that we put into the master plan. And so we have asked for some proposals already to help us with that, and plan to send that to you all in the coming days to analyze that work. And then also a proposal to start the architecture on the design for the Broad Street corridor all the way through construction documents and construction administration. We reached out to the land planning firm that we work with, HGOR, on the master plan to extend their design from the Peachtree Road and Broad Street intersection all the way up to the bend where the post office is. So all of those proposals are coming, and we'll keep you guys posted
On the HQR, or the streetscape proposal, I assume that there's some right-of-way that would need to be acquired in order to do that, or are we going to be able to do it without any right-of-way acquisition?
We don't know yet. There is as you guys know, the widening of the basically coverage from sidewalk to sidewalk is proposed. We have met personally with all the landowners adjacent on the frontage of Broad Street, and in terms of acquisition, we're not sure, but I think there need to be further discussions about
I guess my only concern is that we not get too far ahead with construction documentation. We'll try to find out that there's a critical element or two that all of a sudden we're going to have to go back and do redesign if we can't get the property or the easements or whatever we're doing exactly.
right. And right now, this one is just pricing for the architecture. So.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have a update on the parking station commission a couple of weeks ago?
Yes, so, the consultants that we hired for the parking study, they'll come next month to give us the final update and have more of their final deliverables, as well as the guiding principles document, so something that we can use throughout the next couple of years to decade to kind of establish our best practices for the parking downtown, and then also focusing another document that talks about the next steps, what we're going to do with parking, when we're going to, if we're going to charge when and if we're going to charge for parking, and what it looks like as the city continues to grow and Broad Street gets built out.
Okay.
But they attended a parking meeting with us and some of the property owners around Pierce Drive, and they've also done quite a few observation days too, so now we're just putting the study together.
Cool, very good. We continue to have inquiries from people who want to buy pieces of our property. There are a couple of folks here tonight that I introduced to Andrew. One of the things that we had not fully discussed is sort of where the points of contact are going to be for people who are interested in these sort of things. I'm going to suggest that we funnel those contacts and those leads through Catherine to farm out to Seven Oaks master developer, to where else they need to go. Does that sound appropriate? And I think that's what we talked about in the meeting a couple of days ago. Okay.
Do we need a motion on that, or is that administrative?
It's administrative, but I wanted to make an announcement sort of on the record so that we start getting the word out of how things flow in the funnel and then get distributed out. Just want to make that little almost an announcement, I guess. Okay, is there anything else that we need to talk about on town center right this second? Now we'll move on. We're going to go to old business. We have a lawn maintenance update.
Okay, so this is following up with, last meeting, we had talked about, we didn't have price and proposals from companies for maintaining the 3 properties that the PDA owns. I reached out to 2 of the maintenance firms that the city uses, only heard back from one. Their price was really high, so then I talked to our assistant city manager, our deputy city manager, he said, because that was so high, he was gonna get the city public works crews out there to maintain it, and then eventually look for somebody else with a lower pricing, but until then, they're gonna help us maintain it, so.
Great, okay. Good. And then the next item was the parking study update, but I jumped the gun on that, sorry. Next, in new business, we have bond refinancing RFP responses. Doug is here from Davenport to present their findings.
You don't care about that.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to present tonight. Again, I'm Doug Gephardt with Davenport Company, the city's financial advisor. If you would flip to page 1, just to reiterate and go over the background of why I'm here today. Earlier this year in March, we did a financial health update for the city and identified a potential refunding opportunity for the DDA Series 2016 and 17 bonds. We got permission to come forward to the DDA, and at the June 26th meeting, we shared the potential opportunity with the members of the DDA who authorized Davenport to release an RFP on behalf of the DDA. Flipping to page 2. As a reminder, the Series 2016 and 17 bonds were issued under the master indenture, and they're both sort of structured in the same way, in the fact that they have a fixed rate period up until December of 2019, and then afterwards they would turn into a variable rate period, which it would be set at a rate of the Wall Street Journal Prime plus 25 basis points or 0.25%. So based upon our knowledge of the current market, we felt that we could do better in today's market. Flipping to page 3, again, this is just a reiteration of why we're here today, is that when in 2008, the prime rate was 2.25, it's gotten as low as 0.25, but with the Fed increasing rates for the last 18 months, the prime rate has risen to 5%. And the equivalent rate, if it were to be set today, would be 5.25%. There is thoughts that the Fed may raise rates again in September and December, and potentially additional 3 times next year. So there is some upward pressure in that rate specifically. So that's the background. With that being said, we solicited an RFP. Again, as a reminder, 5.25 the rate is the rate that we're looking to beat at this point. We sent out bids to over 25 local, regional, and national firms for the refunding. We asked for final maturities ranging between 12 and 20 years, and we ended up getting bids back from 6 institutions. We normally like to see 3 bids, so the fact that we got 6, we were very pleased with the responses. 2 of the bids that we got back were for public sales. When I say public sale, that would mean creating an offering document and getting ratings and selling it to institutional investors based upon the facts that we know. We weren't considering those proposals at this time. Detailed summaries can be found in the appendix. Page 5 shows a summary of the interest rates that we received. Again, the 12-year, which was the existing final maturity, 15 and 20-year rates. You can see the lowest 12-year fixed rate was a 386. The lowest 15-year rate was a 445, and the lowest 20-year rate was a 532. Piedmont Bank, which you will see in the second to last column on the right, offered a current rate at a 3.04% that would be resetting every 3 years. So it would be fixed at for a 3-year period, and then after that, 3 years from now, it would be set again on a 3-year period. So go 3-year. So that's what we're looking at. Page 6. Obviously, the 3.04 interest rate was extremely attractive based upon the 5.25 that is currently being paid. However, that is subject to a rate reset. So we wanted to go in and look at how much could rates change in order for the DDA and the city to break even with the best proposals on each of the fixed rate terms. So what you can see in here is the dark green line is the current 3-year treasury, which is what the rate would be set based upon, and where we break even. So in order to be worse off, the 3-year treasury, if you look at the tan line at the top, to the best 20-year rate, the 3-year treasury would have to be higher than 5.94%. Over the last, since 1998, that's happened for about a year period in the early 2000s. Again, so for the 493 for the 12-year rate and the 484 for the 15-year rate. And that's the worst case scenario. So in the event that any of the other time periods get set below, that number increases. So this is sort of the worst case. So what we wanted to do on the next page is, again, compare how the Piedmont option 3, or option 2, with the 3-year rolling resets, would compare to how the existing bond rate would be set at today. On the left-hand side is what the existing bond rate would have been over the last 20 years. So the Wall Street Journal Prime plus 25 basis points versus the proposed new rate calculations. You can see over the last 20 years, the new bond rate would be lower 100% of the time. On the right-hand side, you say, okay, I realize that's lower. How much lower? It ranges from 25 basis points to 4.75 basis points. If you were to average it over the same 20-year period, the new bond rate that is being proposed is roughly 2.36 better than what the current rate would be reset at. So almost 2.5% savings on an interest rate basis. Flipping to page 8, what does that mean on the debt service side? The left-hand side of the page in the tan is what the existing debt service would be, and then compare all the options. We did extend the interest-only period another 2 years out until 2022. And you can see that the cash flow is substantially better in every year with the lower interest rate. It would go from a $1.6 million obligation as early as 2019, December 2019, to just a $415,000 obligation under the proposed current refinancing rate. Again, they are subject to change, so we did it based upon what the rates are today. Our recommendation, after talking with staff, is that we would pursue the 20-year amortization. The reason for that is it is prepayable at any time. So in the event that in whole or in part, so in the event you want to amortize a little quicker, you have the ability to do that by prepaying it. But you do also get the benefit of having reduced cash flow impact on the general fund or the DDA should it go further down the road. So that would be our recommendation going forward, and we're happy to discuss that. Flipping to page 9, again, it's just a recommendation and rationale. The Piedmont Bank is the lowest absolute interest rate at 3.04 compared to the next best rate to about 4.35. It reduces your interest costs during the interest-only period. It does extend the interest-only period. It allows for prepayment part or in whole at any time without penalty. And although it is subject to a rate reset, we're comfortable that the reset is high enough that it allows for enough flexibility compared to the other fixed rate proposals that we should move forward with the short-term rolling 3-year rate. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. I think we are going to ask that the DDA have a special call meeting the first week in August, if possible, to approve the final, what is called the bond resolution, which outlines the key terms and conditions. With that, another key point, which is sort of critical here, what Paul mentioned, is that the Piedmont Bank proposal does not require the properties to be pledged as collateral for this loan. So it does, by doing this refinancing, it will allow us to sort of free up those properties, which is good for flexibility.
Fantastic.
Need to be sold. So we're going to remain on track. After that, your special call meeting, we'll get the validation and close basically at the end of August. So with that, I'll answer any questions. There's additional calculations in the back, but I won't bore you with the detailed numbers. And so again, thank you for the opportunity, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? So what we're going to ask to do tonight is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What is our debt right now? What is our current balance?
13.4 million is the current principal outstanding. There will be some accrued interest between the last payment and now, and then there will be some cost additions associated with it. So I imagine it'd be slightly higher than the 13.4 million in debt. Commitments for up to.
All right, so timeline-wise, we would be asked to approve the IGA, I'm sorry, the council would approve the IGA at the next,
If you look on page 10 of the presentation, so July 24th tonight, we're not going to approve any documents. Before the board is some questions of accepting the recommendation of authorizing moving forward with the P1 options here in 2020. Then, if the board members please do this, we meet again especially on August the 7th to approve the bond document. That would include the IGA area. The city would meet on the 21st, and the city attorney would proceed with the IGA in the meantime. On the 21st of August, the city meets to approve the area. Meanwhile, we have started the validation process, and we would validate the week before the last meeting in August, and close during the last meeting.
all right, so let's everybody check the calendar. Let's look at August 7th and just see if we've got availability that day. Is there any conflict for the room on that day, Catherine, do you know? And that's just going to be I'm good on that day. Do we expect these bond documents to be substantially different from what we've used before? Is there going to be a different?
They will be different in two different ways. One, I don't think we're going to use a trust and interest. And secondly, we won't pledge the real estate, so they'll be different in two ways.
Okay, great.
They'll actually resemble mostly the initial bond documents we used by first bond documents.
Got it, okay. So is everybody good for August 7th at 6:30? And we'll get the bond documents out for everybody to review in advance of that meeting. And we'll have an IGA, an intergovernmental agreement to review at that meeting as well. Okay. All right, so we're going to have a motion to move forward on the Davenport proposal, and then a second motion to special set meeting on August 7th.
The motion to adopt the bond and resolution and form.
That will be
Okay.
That'll be August 7th.
So what are we doing today?
We're moving their recommendations. Right.
Motion to authorize Davenport to move forward with the bond.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next is to special set the August 7th meeting.
Motion to set a special call meeting for August 7th at 6:30 p.m. here, unless otherwise.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you very much for your presentation. Dan, thank you very much for your future look on this. All right, with that, we come to the end of our agenda. It's time for public comment. Mr. Hyman, Mr. Reynolds, why don't you step and introduce yourselves? They come to me earlier, and I introduced them to Andrew, and they're going to tell you why.
We're my partner Dave Hyman, we're both from Chamblee here in Chamblee. We're interested in buying a piece of property across the street, the old antique store, and turning it into an event space. We feel that it'd be not only beneficial to us, but the downtown Chamblee and its future development. We do that.
Which property?
It's
3519 Broad Street, White Old Antique Building.
Indiana.
It's part of the DDA property over there. Yeah, so we just kind of leave around you guys just a little bit about our past. I've got a background in finance, Bo has a background in hospitality. We've seen Chamblee, what's happened over the last few years. We love coming through here, seeing the new pieces, and we're really excited about it. And after talking a while, we think this is great for potentially us, for Chamblee. We're doing partnerships with the businesses. There's a bridal shop over there, with the restaurants, with the personal dinners, with the event space, potentially even working with some of the film community in Atlanta as well. So I think there's really a lot of opportunity in that piece of property to do something special.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming tonight.
Yeah.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
We really shouldn't, we were on that.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We can chat.
It's not,
Okay.
right.
Talk to you.
They came out, I just want to give them a chance to introduce themselves, but it wasn't a discussion item necessarily this time. Does anyone else have a comment? Thank you all for coming. Do we have a motion to go to executive session? Yes. For the purpose of discussing a real estate transaction.
Motion to enter executive session for the purpose of discussing the real estate transaction.
All in favor, please say aye. All right, we'll turn off the cameras. Thank you, everyone.
2 weeks.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. The agenda being completed. Do we have a motion to...
Who's going to do that?
You.
Well, we paid for it. That's what we paid for.
I hear John Brooks has volunteered.
That's why you make the big bucks, right, John?
I'm happy to do it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I think you guys were adjourned. Thank you all very much.